Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Hermitcraft. Oh wow, hi. Jeez. Welcome back to Hermitcraft Season 6. Yeah, we just randomly run into people. Guys, I have a little bit of a mystery going on. If we head over to my beacon shop, I was here earlier and couldn't help to notice that I've got 2 beacons left. I mean, that's normally great, but there ain't no diamonds here. What the heck? Now, I know that I took some beacons out of this shop a few days ago, but I had more than this. I had like double, so this would have been, yeah, beacons are missing. That is one weird mystery. I have no idea where those beacons may have gone. If someone has borrowed them and not told me, I'm so confused. Anyway, we may find out more about that later, but right now we are going to start a brand new big farm project today, and I'm super excited about this one because it's something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I was so happy waking up today seeing in my Discord that Stressmonster, the super ice queen of doom, has requested. By the way, she's working on this rail and it looks absolutely fantastic. Look at this train. Have I already shown you guys this? This is sick. I love it. Anyway, she has requested us to produce an ice farm for her. I have no idea actually what I'm gonna get paid for this. I just want to do an ice farm because I need ice as well, and I assume if I make an ice farm I should be able to farm it myself. The reason we need all the ice is of course because I want to completely fill this area up, and I don't want to have, well, I want to have some water but not much in between here, and this is gonna take thousands upon thousands of ice. Wally? Someone? With a big belly? I saw some comments about this looking like Wally, and now I cannot for the life of me unsee it. You guys see it? It's so bad. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to gather up some resources, and yeah, this is what I'm looking for. I'm gonna use a lot of packed ice for this and possibly some of that, and then we're gonna head out to an area that I've already located where we can build this thing. I really love my storage system. I think it's absolutely great. And I guess I'm just going to bring a bunch of this. Also, turns out when we did the Sahara prank, Sahara is coming on Concorp, I misplaced my wood box and Concorp found it and they kept it for themselves, which is fair beans. I mean, I get it. We pranked them. I dropped my wood box. They keep it. That's totally understandable. But I'm going to have to make a new one. And that's important because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need a lot of wood for this project, which luckily we do have some spare wood. Oh, I even have some boxes in here. Yeah, okay, cool. That does the trick. Next, I need to repair my elytra because it's broken. Quite honestly, whenever I get a chance to use this thing, I take it. Let's see if we can fully repair the elytra. I don't know which one has been used lately. 59 levels and a repaired elytra. Oh my goodness. This thing is so freaking insane. And I actually brought over from the Wither Skeleton farm more blaze rods. So the only reason this is not working at the moment is because, yeah, the fuel light is out. Now, conveniently enough, the place where I want to put this ice farm down is actually right over where my mine is. Because if you guys remember, if you've been watching my series throughout the season, there's actually a big ice plains next to it. This is my mine portal, and right next to it here, this should take us to the ice plains. And yes, it did. And I also brought a bed, which is lucky because this place, I have a feeling, is going to be flooded with mobs. Hello, guy. Right, with him out of the way, I think we can get started on this project. So, I did actually do some testing here just to see if ice would freeze the other day. And this is also where I came, yeah, when I worked on my base last episode. And as you can see, it is an absolute mess right over here. Now, I got a lot of comments in the last video saying, why didn't he just use Exuma's ice farm in the shopping district? And the reason I didn't use it is because I think it's broken. It's been broken for a long time. I actually walked over and checked it out, and there's nothing in it. It does not produce ice. So, there isn't an ice farm at the moment on the server that's working, which means that this is also possibly something that Sahara can profit from. I mean, we'd have to strike a deal with the Ice Queen because she has, yeah, monopoly on ice this season, but yeah, it could still be a good source for Sahara. So I want to give everybody a real quick explanation on how ice works and how it forms, because this is a knowledge that I am very happy to have whenever I play this game. Ice is used for so many things. You can use it for transporting items, you can use it for boat roads, it looks awesome, it doesn't spawn mobs, the regular ice, and since 1.13 you can also pack it together and you get the packed ice variant, and you can pack this together and you get the blue ice if you want that. And it's just a very useful resource in general. And it's easy to obtain. The way it works is that you either need to be in a taiga biome at above a certain Y level. You can determine that by where it snows. So for example, right over there, it would form ice on the snow layers, but it probably wouldn't form ice down here. And it also requires sunlight. It requires direct sunlight. I don't think you can put glass above it, although I'm not entirely sure on that one. And then the way it works is that ice will form if there's a solid block next to it, or an ice block. If there's another block basically next to it, it will form. Which means that if I would leave this puddle for a while, the ice would form from the sides all the way into the middle. And you can see in the middle I've actually put down some grass blocks, meaning that the ice can form here. And you can see that it forms as we're standing here. Oh, and right, the biome. So this is a snow tundra, which is, I think, similar to ice plains. And in these biomes where there's snow on the floor and where it usually snows, anywhere where it snows in Minecraft, ice should be able to be formed. So you can build ice farms in very many different ways, and there are super cool ways of doing it. One idea that I had was having flying machines bring me the ice from trays like this, and then I would be standing still and just mining out the ice. I thought that would be really, really cool and AFKable. The only issue with that is, if I would AFK and get kicked from the server, or the server would die, the flying machines would die as well, because they don't work, or they break if you unload the chunk. So someone has to be there, shut off the farm, and then kick Iskall, which is not gonna happen. So another way of doing it is this thing here, or at least I hope this is the way you do it. Now this is a farm that I'm remembering seeing Nembom make a long time ago, or quite a while ago. I think it was last summer, when I watched a video, and I never actually built it myself, but the concept is really cool. It's a redstone-less farm, redstone-free farm, where all you do is making sure that you stand AFK in a certain spot and you hold your mouse click with a silk touch pickaxe, and that will mine the ice. We just make sure that we are aligned towards the block so that we can break 5 blocks. If we're back here, we can only break 4. So when we're here, we just let go of our keyboard and hold left click. And yeah, that seems to be working. And I had no ice on me. I think I chucked it all out. So any ice I'm getting now is from the farm. Oh, but then we stop here. Let's give this another test. But this time without my Depth Strider boots. Because as you can see, without Depth Strider, for some reason you glide a lot faster. So let's try this again. Can barely withhold. So maybe now I can pass through. Yep. Oh my goodness. Whew! That is beautiful. And then the ice will slowly reform the ice after itself. One problem though is that not all ice would be collected with this method here, because as you can see, yeah, there are some pieces left behind. However, I got 39 pieces out of that, which ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. I don't really think it's worth caring about the ice that gets left behind. So some of the ice would get shot down into this water stream, so we'd have a collection spot here in this example, and some of it will be in my inventory. It's gonna be a massive project. I don't think I'll be done today, but I'm gonna start it. And what I need to do is build massive amounts of these in a huge area around here. I'll probably need to flatten some terrain as well. Yeah, this is gonna be an undertaking and a half. It is a really good spot for it though, because honestly, it's quite flat as it is. 7 hours has passed, and as you can see, I have made some great progress. Oh my goodness. So the good news was I decided to go and do a live stream of starting this mega project. I sort of love to do these mega things on stream, and it's really fun. And this time it was actually really helpful as well, because we discovered some things that we needed to do with the ice farm that we had the prototype of in the last cutscene, and it made it more efficient. The first thing I did was that I flattened out our terrain, and that actually took a couple of hours, but I'm so glad I did it, because it's just so much easier to build everything when you have everything sort of dug out and it's nice and straightforward. And this is the very start of the ice farm right here. I mean, I'm shocked with my own progress here, to be honest. So this is a total of about 840 something ice blocks that are forming inside the farm here. And the farm in its current state is actually, I mean, it should be working. I should say, I haven't tested it fully, but it should be working. Now, what I want to do is let's do a test, because we did a test live on stream and the loss percentage doing it this way is about 4.5%. 4.5% of the ice we mine isn't gonna be picked up. That's 4.5 ice blocks out of 100. So yeah, not too bad. Anyway, take off my Swedish socks with unbreaking, stand here, and I'm not gonna touch my keyboard. I'm gonna let go right here and just hold my mouse button down. And this is so extremely satisfying. Well, what the heck? It failed? I'm kind of glad I tested that, because I do have, these corners are a little bit tricky. What I have discovered is that maximum, you want to push the player maximum 5 block spaces, so this is 3, and then have a sign. So, but if it's around a corner, it's even better to do it with shorter distances. So let's just do this, and that should fix that, because I was pushing myself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks here, which may slow me down enough to stop, which shouldn't happen. That's not a good thing. Also, I should have my food in my offhand, because that's part of this. So let's try this again. We come in and click both buttons. This time we should get past that little stretch here. Yep, beautiful. Okay, now I can say that this is extremely satisfying. For the first corner. Okay, so we're taking I've never tried this, by the way. I'm still not moving my keyboard, and here we go. Second row. Nice. And we're at the end. Nice. Okay, so I discovered some mistakes that were in the farm at the moment that I have to fix. Yeah, right over here, I think. So that goes back, and then that goes there. Right at the end of the farm, I need wood there as well. Okay, cool. So let's see how we did. So I got a total of 803 blocks of ice doing that run. And the farm holds, I would like to say, about 830-ish blocks. It's 420 on this very first row, but then the second row, we had to make some sacrifices with the turning over here and the turning down there. So I think it's fair to say that the farm holds about 830 ice blocks at the moment. That gives us a loss rate of 3.3%, if I know my math. Yeah, that is incredibly good. And I really don't care about that. So we got 800 ice from 2 rows. Now the plan is to make about 10 of these rows for a total of 4,000 ice blocks or so per run. And with these final slabs, I think I've done it. I think I've done it. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, this is looking incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rows of 400 potential ice blocks per row. A little bit more, 420 per row. And it didn't even reach all the way over to where I cleared the area. That is really, really cool. Now, this is like 2 days later. I have made another mega stream, and most of this farm I actually built live on my Twitch channel. It was a lot of fun, and I would send a big thank you out to everyone who came and hung out with me, or chilled. You see what I mean? Chilled with me whilst doing this, because yeah, it was a grind and a half. So right now, the very start point of this farm is right here. I should probably actually make a sign right here with I need a sign here actually. How did that water hold up when I flooded it? That's weird. I made some adjustments as well as I've learned to build this. Basically, I've made some improvements. We're now going with the stone pressure plates instead of wood, because these we just won't be mining because we'll be holding our pickaxe at this height. So that will work out fine. But as we bob along here, the collection of the ice will be, I don't remember in the last cutscene. I think I had this sorted in the last cutscene, but as we bob along like this, the ice will be, as you can see, shot down. Most of it, there will be some loss, but most of it will be shot down these items or these streams where we are being transported. And so what I've done is that I've connected it all up to one central point. So the ice goes around the first row, and then every other row, whenever we're facing north, the ice will be plopped out here. Now I haven't made this one yet, so we could make this together so I can show you what I've done. Basically that's what we're gonna do, and then we're gonna punch or put an ice block there. If we come out on this side, we're gonna put a slab here and a block there in a second. Now what's gonna happen is when the player comes traveling, we're gonna go forward because we can't pass through this block, but an item will go underneath that, as you can see, and that's how we're going to collect the items. So right down here we should have a water stream. Ah, found it. Okay, right over here we have the collection of 2 hoppers currently and 1 or 2 double chests. We got to make a proper storage room as well, but this will basically act as the item stream. So down here we'll just put some water like so, and that will be pushing the items along into a collection system, and every item that comes in here should have momentum enough to land in one of these hoppers and then be pushed into the system. Maybe it's even better to do this, remove these pressure plates and have it do that, because now if an item goes all the way over here, it's going to bounce back and down into the hopper it goes. Yeah, and then into these chests, and from here we can make a proper shulker loader. Now there are a few more things we got to do before I can actually go to sleep and run this farm overnight, and that is to connect it up together. So at the moment you would start here and you would go through and you would go to sleep or do whatever you want, not be by your computer, and this thing would farm ice for you. And I think it is just big enough to actually refreeze by the time you're done with one lap. So you're going to do multiple laps, right? You go in back and forth, and then when you reach the end, we need to shoot the player all the way back to the beginning, and that's what this column or this corridor here is for, that you can see on the side here. This brings us from the very end of the farm all the way over there to the beginning. And I gotta make sure that this is not packed ice, because otherwise mobs can spawn on it. So that's one of the things I gotta fix. But anyway, what we gotta do, because obviously if we are AFK, and this was the biggest question overnight, so we're going here, then when we're done we come out here and we could loop the player back around. However, there's one more thing that is absolutely crucial, and this was the biggest questions during my stream, and that is, how do we deal with the pickaxes? Because obviously after one run, a pickaxe will have taken damage. And this is actually a pretty good representation. It's going to have around 600 durability after 10 of these. A little bit less. It depends on the random chance of unbreaking. But long story short, an unbreaking 3 diamond pickaxe can mine about 6,000 ice blocks before it breaks. You don't want to gamble on it though, because it's random. So I have it at about 4,400, which is the total blocks of the farm. But that means that we can only run one time, and then the pickaxe is going to break, and then the AFK session is over. So, we came up with this machine here, which is also part of the original design from Nembon. I didn't actually look at how he did it, so he may have done it differently, but this is really, really cool. So, what we got to do is build this machine over there. Basically, what this does is it takes our pickaxe and gives us a new one. So, pay attention to my inventory. I got no fresh pickaxe, got Ripperoni there, but we are AFK. We're mining, we're holding both our buttons. Actually, we should do this just to give it a perfect representation. We're holding both our buttons because we're eating and we're farming ice. So both of our buttons are pressed, and here's what happens. We go past this thing, it grabs our pickaxe, shoots it with a snowball, and gives us a new one. Look at that. There's a new pickaxe right there. Obviously, we can't run with a fortune pickaxe. That was that was silly of me to put that in there. But you get the idea. And the old pickaxe end up in this hopper. So the way this works is we're traveling across this pressure plate, which triggers this dispenser. I'll show you the redstone delay I'm using. I'm using 3, so 12 ticks of delay plus 2 torches. and that seems to be perfect. That fires the dispenser, which will put a snowball or push a snowball towards the item frame, breaking or pulling the pickaxe off, and this hopper grabs it. So we can store the damaged pickaxes in a chest, and then when we come back in the morning or after our AFK session, we can take them to the Guardian farm and repair them with mending or whatever we want to do with them. And then we put a bunch of fresh pickaxes in this dispenser, and of course, you know, we put a hopper here, we put a chest or a couple of chests or whatever we want to have pickaxe storage over there. So this system is really, really cool, and I'm really proud of it, although I'm pretty sure that Nembom's design is either better or exactly the same in the original design. But we did come up with this live on stream. It was a really fun little challenge, and that basically means that, yeah, the farm is 100% AFKable. The biggest concern would be phantoms, which should not track us because we're underneath a block. We don't have sky access. And I built up this system over here, and hopefully we can test this out. We just have to cover these up before they reform. And so this would be our snowball input. We obviously need to have snowballs here, but they're super easy to farm, so I'm not worried about that. All right, so here we go. Test number 3. Pickaxe gets picked up. Snowball breaks it. We got a new pickaxe. All of that is working consistently, which is great. And oh, you know what? That's an issue. Right there is an issue. This whole wall is an issue. No. So cover this all up with wood. And it would be absolutely disaster if if that wouldn't be fine. So let's just try it out from here. We're traveling. We're holding both of our buttons. And yeah, that's looking good. I'm not touching my keyboard. That's looking good. Nice. Okay, and then back into the ice farm we go for another lap. I think that is actually a success. Now, one thing that may mess this up is what happens if we are hungry when we pass by this station. I mean, the chances are pretty slim, but they may happen. It may happen. Regardless of that, we're going to make a little bit of an entrance here. This is where you would manually go and start your farm experience, and I don't think that's going to matter, but we could put down a door here. Actually, we gotta have a door. we have to have a door, because obviously otherwise zombies and stuff can get in here. So let's just put down a door like that. That's also going to block the player, making sure that we are staying put, and we can cover that up. And I think that's it. I honestly think that's it. I'm gonna get all of the ice out of this farm that the farm has been producing whilst we've been building it and testing it as we have gone on the Twitch streams. I'm gonna take all of this stuff out, and a proper test would be overnight, but I wanna make sure that I test it when sitting here, and I think the whole farm takes about like 24 minutes or so to run through. This is where our Silk Touch pickaxe machine, that is our base, comes very handy, because we're gonna want to fill this system up entirely with pickaxes. And I just realized I forgot to add a chest for that, didn't I? That shouldn't be a problem though. We should be able to just do something like this. And this will be our pickaxe input, so put all of our Silk Touch pickaxes in here. And then we need to start with one in our inventory, of course. And yeah, that should be all good. So snowballs are loaded, that is loaded. I think we're pretty much ready to do this. Did I empty the storage system completely? Yes, there are no items in the storage system. If this farm produces 4,000 blocks, I think 3 double chests should be enough. Alright, so that is one lap of this farm done. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta get to bed. I'm super excited to see how this went, but whew, get out of here. Oh my goodness, that's a wake up alarm. Jeez. So one thing we obviously have to do in this area is mob proof it, because I did see there was sometimes in the time I ran the lap here that a witch started tracking me over here. There was a spider tracking me over there. None got to me, so that's all good. But I just want to make sure that we have like a barrier around this so no mobs can even get close. Two big remarks. We had to eat once, which was over here somewhere, and the server got super laggy at that time, just by random chance over here. It got super laggy at that point in time, so it took like 3-4 rows to eat, whereas if the server doesn't lag, it takes 1 row. Now that doesn't matter, it just lowers the output a little bit. I think it was actually here. Oh no, oh here, the server completely stalled. I think Joe Hills logged online, and when he did, the server completely stalled, so I have no idea where he were, and that messed it up a little bit. But other than that, the farm went, I mean, everything went really good. Everything worked, and by the time I reached the end, I did get a new pickaxe, which worked out beautifully. We should take a look at how much durability was used up. Oh, I think this was my old one that I put in manually. So this was the one I used. 518 remaining. That's absolutely perfect. We got a new one, and we can go another lap. Absolutely beautiful. I'm so in shock with how well everything worked. Now, my inventory is obviously filled up with ice. Let's see how the collection went down here. We got that amount there and a torch for some reason, and there's still ice coming in. We got that and that. So how much is this in total? So one lap produced a double chest of ice plus a few stacks. In total, 59 stacks and 13 blocks, which equals to 3,776 plus 13 blocks of ice in one run. And that run took about 20 minutes. So I reckon we'll do a lot of those runs if we would AFK overnight here. That's absolutely brilliant. This farm is ridiculous. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased. And of course, like, the next run may not yield quite as much because not everything freezes. In fact, it looks like we may want to add another row to this. Now, ice will freeze in 8 chunks around the player, wherever the player is in the position. It doesn't have to do with with chunks, any loaded chunks. It has to do with 8 chunks around the player, which means that you can't go infinitely big with this farm. And, I mean, it was timed pretty well with the first row, but the second row is still not frozen. I don't know if I care for making it bigger though, because if I make it bigger, I have to redo this, and I have to make 2 more rows, which may make it too big. And yes, this farm can totally be too big. I mean, the pickaxe needs to last the entire lap, basically. Honestly, I think I'm pretty happy with 20 minutes for 3,700 or 3,800 blocks of ice. That's a pretty good yield. That is a pretty good yield. So it's going to require a pretty redonkulous storage system before we can test this thing for real, like over a full night. So I'm back in our laboratory, and I have just finished up mending all of the pickaxes that I've been using whilst I've been building this farm. I didn't break a single one. I'm pretty proud of that one. Now there's one piece of the puzzle remaining for the ice farm, and that is all the pickaxes. Now, of course, I have a ton of pickaxes and I could put all my pickaxes over there, but I want to make some dedicated pickaxes. Oops, I did not mean for this to happen here. Uh-oh. There we go. Yeah, I obviously can't put ice down where there is light next to it. I want to make some dedicated pickaxes for the ice farm. And you may not know this because this was kind of news to me, but check this out. If we have ice placed down, it is enough to have a Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 3 Silk Touch pickaxe to insta-mine the ice without haste. So essentially all I need to do is have either a ton of these without mending and then, you know, just dispose of the pickaxes, or just put mending on these, and yeah, that would be good. The good thing with this is, of course, my pickaxe scheme. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the Silk Touch toolsmith left. I had one that traded an Efficiency 3, Unbreaking 3 Silk Touch pickaxe, but for some reason, and I don't know what reason, He's not here anymore. So this is the best pickaxe trader I have at the moment. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a ton of these pickaxes dedicated for the ice farm. I think I'm going to try and fill 3 shulker boxes of these and just buy them off of this guy and then buy mending and silk touch off of these guys. And that way we will never, or hopefully we won't run out of pickaxes over one night. Now, I should do some math because it's 27 times 3. That's the amount of laps we'll be able to take, and 1 lap takes 20 minutes. Yeah, so we should be, with 81 pickaxes, we should be able to run the farm for 27 hours. I think. If every run takes 20 minutes. But I may have got the math wrong there. I'm not sure. And these are going to be the last pickaxes I'm going to be able to make, because I am now completely out of stored XP. Oh my goodness, I must have spent hundreds of levels putting these things together. And yeah, this thing is running. It's very, 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 very loud. I need more fuel though. I'm running out of fuel. 2 boxes of blaze rods I loaded it with, and I'm out. Anyway, this is what I got together. I got 1, 2, and 4 pickaxes. So 2 shulker boxes and 4 extra pickaxes. That's still a lot of pickaxes, and I think hopefully that will last us one night. I mean, if it doesn't, I'm gonna try and get this filled up. But I do need to AFK and get some more XP. And if it doesn't, not the end of the world. Look at our emerald supply as well. It's completely out. That was a big trading session. But that's going to do it for today, ladies and gentlemen. I am sorry that this video was a day late, but this project I just wanted to finish it. Now, of course, we still have to build the storage system for it, and we have to build a perimeter for mob spawning, and I also want to design it and make it pretty. So there are a few bits and pieces left of the project, but we'll do that when we get around to it. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you dudes have enjoyed. If you did, please do hit the like button down below. If you're brand new, consider subscribing, and I will see you dudes in the next episode.